Finn Ardscoil, Chiaráin, Ewan Lenine of St. Joseph's Milltown, and Cathal Talty from Kilmurray Bricken as well. And just we were talking off here, Michael, it's a while now since you or I were anywhere near senior school football, to be fair, but I mean the standard that these guys are playing at, reading down through that team, there's county minors, there's county 20s, there's lads like Josh and Sean who played senior club for their last year in the championship and Cusack Cup. Like, they're bringing huge experience into this.
You've Gary Donlan who played an intermediate final with Chiaráin and Ferris. There is a lot, but it's testament to the work that's been done within the clubs and within the school, and they're improving all the time. But I think a major upstart for college football was bringing in the transition year. A lot of these guys, I think 10 of the starting Spanish Point team are 19 this year, and they're physically stronger. They have been, as you said, exposed to club scene or football or intermediate. So that in step brings up the standards, and that's why I think Spanish Point have such a good run. It's great to have that amount of 19-year-olds. They're seasoned. Nearly at that stage, they've seen our champion played some of them, so I think that's what has brought up the standards up something great.
Clara will be out on the field very shortly, Michael. We saw them coming in off the pitch. It's a slow kind of a day, it's a misty kind of a day, there's a breeze, and we can see the scoreboard over here to our right hand side. Looks to be slightly maybe blowing right to left as we look at it down into this corner, but Clara, as they came in, very noticeable, big, physical, powerful team.
Yeah, they look a big, physical, powerful team, but the only thing about Clara have been going into this game with a slight doubt. Their best player, Marcus Dalton, who's their captain, didn't play in the semi-final, came off in the Leinster final with a hamstring injury, so it'd be interesting to see how he will be able to cope with the tough conditions. So he's definitely their go-to player. He plays with the Offaly 20s, so he's definitely one to watch, but he has been carrying an injury.
And if he has to wear number 11, that means likely Diarmuid Comer picking him up, who we know is a sticky, tough yoke as well. As we see Clara coming out onto the pitch, they're wearing all the purple jerseys, almost Wexford-like in fact, with those gold numbers on the back, so they're just lining up for their team photo. Jerry O'Neill is down there, so too is Vice Chairman of Clare GA, Clare Champion Reporter, Connacht GA, plenty hats on him, Michael O'Connor, he's down there looking through that as well. And just a word, Michael, later on this evening when we leave Tuam, we'll probably all be heading towards Milltown, under 20s in that Liam O'Connor Cup. You know, if you take this day on its own, a West Clare school in an All-Ireland final, or under 20s in that developmental final as it is, like, that's all positivity building.
It's all games at a high level, Derek, and that's how you improve. You can do all the training you like, but you've got to play games at a high level to improve, and that's what's happening here today in front of us in Tuam, and again later on in Milltown this evening when Clare played Limerick in the under 20 development final. It's exposing players to a high level, and that's what will make the improvement all the time.
We'll be keeping some stats for you throughout the game today, thanks to our assistant here for the day, Tom O'Connor, another clubman, and I know there's a big birthday planned later on for the dad Andrew as well. He's starting off today in Tuam, he's down here in the crowd underneath us as well, so we wish him a very happy birthday. We'll just call it 21 plus VAT. Michael will be shoving that way shortly as well. We won't out you on air just yet. It's St. Joseph's Spanish Point warming up away down to our left hand side. You were at the semi-final, Michael. 3-15, they scored, 2-15 they conceded. Which would you focus on?
So look at the one thing you concentrate on is the result. They won. Yeah. It was a very, very open game. I don't think today is going to be the same. I believe that Clara play quite a defensive style. It was a really, really good game of football, Derek. It was really open. It was on in Beacon, the GA Centre of Excellence there belonged to Connacht. It was an excellent game. It was very open. Both teams went for it. Spanish Point in the first half were 4 points down and got a soft goal. It took them back into it. They were 4 points down at the start of the second half and showed great character, and were fully merited for their win. It was a great game, really enjoyed it, but I have a feeling today is going to be a lot different because Clara seemingly imply a really defensive style.
Yeah, so I mean that then becomes almost a managerial thing. Do you be patient and try and hit them on the break? Do you try and force the issue and risk being hit on the break, or is it almost conditions based as to which way you go each half?
Well, look at sure. The thing about it is, if you're playing against a defensive team, and I think when we done St. Brickens and Innistimon in the park, it's you've got to press them, put them under pressure. If they want to keep the ball back there and don't want to come out, you've got to press them and turn the ball over. If you turn the ball over, you have a chance of getting a score. So I'm hoping that's what Spanish Point they will take the game to Clara.
They're just going through their final preparations down here underneath us, just wrapping the hands around on the 21 metre line. As we said, the principal and manager in there, Paul Reedy, he's given the final instructions. They've also got Sean O'Brien and Paul Dillon leading them. We know the quality of player within the school, Michael, but it's worth noting as well the quality of teacher and mentor that's guiding these young men as well. Like, we know what Paul has done in recent years, what he did in a jersey while playing, what he has done recently with that under 21 amalgamation. Sean O'Brien has plenty medals, so too Paul Dillon playing for years. They've also got Mikey Nealon, they would have had John Sullivan, like the list goes on. They've had a great influence up there.
Oh, it's been brilliant. In fairness to Paul, since he became vice principal and principal of Spanish Point, he really pushes football, which is brilliant from a club's point of view. The lads are exposed all the time to top level football, in fair play to him.
We will pause here now in tune for the playing of Ardscoil Navian. They didn't wait for the last line of Ardscoil Navian. I don't think there was much point either. The crowd were poised and ready to go. It's St. Joseph's Spanish Point versus Ardscoil. Chiaráin Naofa from Clara. We mentioned it's the former school of Shane Lowry. His dad Brendan, of course, All-Ireland winner with Offaly. He's on the sideline with them as well. So plenty luminaries both on and off the pitch. Just looking down there, it looks as if St. Joseph's Spanish Point will be playing from left to right as we look at it in this first half. Breeze blowing almost diagonally. Not sure if it's of any major benefit to anybody. A couple of positional switches, we'll keep an eye on those. Josh Maloney coming out here to pick up Miles Handy, and he won't get anything handy off of Josh, you can be sure of that one. And just looking inside, I think there's one or two switches. It looks like is it Cathal Telty has come out here on the 40, so changes are plenty, Michael. All about those mind games. The same 15 start, but they're just moving around.
Yeah, I'm not sure is Marcus Dalton starting for Clara. I'm nearly sure Scott Griffith, number 17, is playing, and number 15 is out at 11 where he plays. 14, I'm not sure is he playing, Derek. I don't see him out there, so that's definitely a big plus for Spanish Point if he's missing.
That would be a blow, as you mentioned, so we'll keep an eye. Maybe they might look to spring him, as a young fella down there had to duck the hand of an overactive umpire, or a steward, shall we call it, referee, ready to get things underway. You can hear the crowd here underneath us. We've had this atmosphere at Harty Cup level several times before. Great to have it in what is an All-Ireland final for St. Joseph's Spanish Point, but it's Clara get the first break, and it's their big midfielder Conor Doyle. Josh Maloney goes across, gets in the hand, referee says that's going to be a free, and Gary Brennan-esque there from the man from the Clara club as well. Won the throw-in. Mike took straight down the centre. Josh came out to meet him. He got a bit of a dunt after that as well. We could have a talking to for one of the Spanish Point lads over there as well, but a signal of intent straight away from the Leinster champions right through the centre. Yeah,
in fairness, he won the throw-in, as you said, and spring through the middle. I think there's Killeen Keevy that's been spoken to. I know Josh fouled him, but I think Killeen Keevy came in a bit late and he's after getting a yellow card, so that's very early to be getting that. But yeah, in fairness, he's big, powerful, he looks mobile, Derek, so it's going to be a big test to the Spanish Point boys in the middle of the field to get a grip there, which is going to be vital today.
He's just on his honkers at the minute, just behind the 45 metre line, getting some treatment there. It'll be a free in for Clara, maybe just bringing up the goalkeeper. They're one of these clubs that do that, so the goalkeeper, Tommy Bracken is his name. He's made the trip forward. He's about 35-40 metres out from the posts. He's striking to the goal away to our left hand side as we look at it here in Tuam. A lovely stadium as it is, nice compact little stadium. Maybe the roof could do with a bit of tender loving care, but other than that, nothing much to complain about. As we watch, thankfully, the player back up onto his feet, Conor Doyle, and to be the first shot at the post for Tommy Bracken. The clock will tell us 1:20 on the clock as he comes to strike this bright orange boot, sending the ball goalwards. The Clara crowd will tell you that's the first score of the afternoon. It comes from the boot of the goalkeeper. It's Clara leading 1 point to no score on the board. The Belbridge House Hotel, our kind commentary sponsors here, so hello to Derek and all the crew out there as well. Michael, good start for the Offaly men to settle them down.
Yeah, it's a great kick, Derek. It was about 42 metres. It was an excellent kick, so it's a great start for them, and they'll have it again.
Kick out just going astray again. The advantage is coming. Just an arm pulled back there. Just time to settle down a little bit. Nerves will be up, Michael. We know that. Adrenaline will be up, but St. Joe Joseph's just trying to settle into a little bit of a pattern. Miles Handy looking to release it into the centre again to Conor Doyle. Handy goes off on the loop again, gets the hand pass inside. Nice movement here from the Offaly men, trying to make the angle for the shot, and that is tipped in and tipped over the bar, and it does come off the boot of the full forward. Ben Kennedy was the man that got the shot away. 2 attacks for Clara, 2 points on the board, 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, they've had a great start, Derek, in fairness, and that all that work came from the wing forward here, number 12, Miles Handy. So look at Spanish Point need to get their hands in the ball.
Kick out goes long up to the clouds goes Evan Cahill. Great hands from him, he didn't steal it either. Sean Nealon takes off Fuller running down this right hand channel, goes into contact, gets the hand pass away. He's the joint captain, slips it across. It's Dara Townsend. His uncles were serious footballers in their day too, the Killeens. Gets the ball back around here to Evan Cahill once again. Clara setting up, they've piled inside the 45. I counted all bar 3 now of their team camped inside that 45 metre line. St. Joseph, Spanish Point going laterally, Michael. They'll have to be patient, but it didn't take long for Clara to get set up defensively. They're obviously well drilled.
No, Derek, that's I spoke to you about that before the game. So Spanish Point are going to have to start moving the ball quickly.
Josh Maloney trying to do just that, takes the contact as well. I spoke about Dara Townsend's uncles. Josh's weren't bad either, as he gets the hand pass away right across here. Up in support is the full back Gary Donlan, and Faros Curran Clare getting the hand pass away, just wouldn't go to hand for him. Goes after it this time, keeps it in, goes out over the line. The line ball will surely be to St. Joseph's, I would have felt. Linesman looked like he had the flag in his left hand. It's in his right. It will be a line ball, and it'll be Killian Keevy to take it. But important now, Michael, that St. Joseph's build on. They spend a little bit of time in the Clara half.
For sure, yeah. Look, get their hands in the ball. Lads get comfortable. The nerves are going to be gone after the first 10 minutes, you'd be hoping. They'll settle down and play their own game. Don't get sucked into play Clara's game. Let's keep playing the way Spanish Point have played all year, moving the ball quickly. That's why I'm kind of surprised to see Carl Telty out at 11. I think he's more of a danger inside.
Diarmuid Cormac threading that ball through to Ewan Lenny, not hard to spot him over there on that far side of the pitch. High looping ball coming in, first shot at the post for St. Joseph's. It goes away out to the left hand side and wide. That came off the boot of Oisin Sexton for Murray O'Brien. A half a chance, I suppose. Michael slightly off balance kicking it, didn't give himself the best chance to put it over.
No, in fairness, but Ewan Lenny showed well for the ball, and Oisin was coming through as you would expect your half forwards to be doing. He popped it off him and he was slightly off balance, you said, but just wide. But look at least Spanish Point are getting their hands in the ball now.
Looks like they're happy enough to give up the short kick out to Clara at the moment, and it's Ryan Carroll, their cornerback, bringing it clear, working it up towards the 45 metre line. And now we can see that St. Joseph's defensive mechanism just being set up. I see Diarmuid Cormac just trotting towards the top of the D to try and give the bit of protection there, but it's Christian McCrone. He's all the way up from full back, playing that ball inside, but great reading there from Tomas Sexton. Anticipated it was going to come short, got it out, and now gets Spanish Point back on the attack. It's Sean Nealon down this right hand channel, takes on the man, brought to the ground. That'll be a free in. It'll be just on the 65 metre line, not a scoring opportunity or anything like it, but good composed play, Michael. First time we've seen him put it through the hands, work that kind of a system, and a good free one by Sean.
Definitely, but I still would like to see if Sean, the minute he got the ball, to get it into the danger zone, get the ball in as quickly as they can, because they have the forwards inside. Julian Ennis had a superb year. Give the ball in, let it into the forwards.
Josh Maloney looking to try and do just that at the minute. Gary Donnan up in attack, supporting there as well. Paul Frawley puts it across towards Diarmuid Cormac. Again, they're going to have to be very, very patient, because this Clara Maginot line almost has been set up around their 45. Long ball into the corner once again, looking for it, but this full back McKeown, he's a safe pair of hands inside there, and he's been fouled on the 21 metre line. They're getting no joy early doors in there anyway.
They are, no, that he made the raid up there. The last time when Tomas Sexton read it and came out of the ghost, was he made the raid up the field, the full back. He looks a very, very good player.
And they're very, very comfortable in that support play as well. I saw a reference during the week that these Clara lads would know each other from even nursery level within their club, which makes an awful difference. And they've won another free here again. The crowd are fairly vocal. They're not too far away from us here to our right hand side, but like that knowledge of players, Michael, for that length of time, it's a unique thing. 15 club players on a school team like that.
This is unbelievable, Derek, to be fair and fair. It's unbelievable for Clara Club, and they're a decent outfit. They're good footballers, so it really will be looking bright for Clara going forward if they can bring these players through to adult level.
And as much as they set up the defensive line, Michael, when they go on attack, they certainly commit to it as well, and they're doing just that. We'll talk about that in a second, because Miles Handy has broken clear, slipping it off inside. Another chance here for the full forward Kennedy, and he punishes it straight between the posts. It's a third score in quick succession for Clara. They lead 3 points to no score, coming up on 7 minutes on the clock. But going back to that point we made, and it just finished off there, when they do break from the defence, they commit nearly as many numbers to attack.
They do, yeah. Their transition is very good, in fairness. from defence to attack. But Derek, if you look at the middle sector, 8, 9, and the three lads playing across the half forward, they're physically very big and conditions are suiting them. But if Spanish Pine can get a score on the board and settle down, they're definitely a lot better than they're playing at the moment.
That's exactly just what they need. Shea Gleeson is the man in possession of the ball on the far side of the pitch, plays it back around once more through the hands towards Diarmuid Comer. He gets the contact. His father wasn't bad either, Pat, former principal of course down at Clahenbeg National School, gets the ball away up here to Gary Donlan, but it just wouldn't come to hand for him, but he's battling bravely and gets the ball back into his hands. Now it goes through. First shot at the posts here for Cathal Talty looking at them, but again just going to the left and wide. It's a second wide in the afternoon for St. Joseph's Spanish Point. Two attacks that could have yielded scores, but it stays 3 points to no score, 7.5 on the clock. That
was an outstanding breakout from Diarmuid Comer, in fairness to him. He broke the line, which is going to be very, very important today, breaking that line. In fairness to him, he got up, but unlucky, look at it, just tail wide.
Kick out once again up to the clouds goes Evan Cahill and calls his mark as well, cleverly, just to calm things down a little bit. Dara Townsend offers the support off the shoulder, ball goes to the ground, he's still going through. Townsend wraps around towards Cathal Talty. Two Clara men surrounding, but Talty holds onto it, gets the ball away, out again to Cahill coming up in support, stepping inside, trying to get onto that right leg. Cahill has got a fine kit hug on him, so too has Josh Maloney. The right isn't bad either, sells the dummy, but again it goes to the right and wide. Really good play from St. Joseph's, all coming from Evan Cahill winning the kick out. From there on, it didn't see a Clara hand, but the finish just missing at the minute.
Yeah, just off. The shooting is just off at the moment. You'll be hoping. But Spanish Point are settling into the game now. They're starting to get a grip. A great catch from the kick out by Evan Cahill on the opposition kick out, which is great. It wasn't from Spanish Point's one. So that's if they got to press up. I'd still like to see them move the ball earlier. Their tendency to take the soul on the hop. The ball has got to be moved.
Second kick out, one against the head, to use that rugby phrase, and it's Dara Townsend who is the man that slips it clear in towards Ewan Lenine. He's got a man over Lenine, just skies it over the crossbar. It was a fine attempt at the goal. He tried to find that top right corner. It just clipped the top of the crossbar and went over. A score St. Joseph's needed. It's 9 minutes on the clock. It's Clara leading by 3 points to 1, and having played all the football arguably in these first 10 minutes, Michael, St. Joseph's will be happy enough with how the scoreboard stands.
Definitely will, and they're playing against the elements as well. They've settled now and they're starting to compete around the middle, which is good.
And certainly on those kickouts as well, they've been doing quite well. That's a third in a row, and it's Evan Cahill this time. It was an attempt at a short one that just went too long, if that makes sense. And Cathal Talty is the man that has the ball in the 45. Josh Maloney raiding down this right wing, just settling up, trying to come on the inside. Back to Ewan Lenine in front of the post. That was half blocked down. Good block as it was too on the defender's part. Couldn't go out over the line for the 45, and Clara have turned it over. That period of sustained pressure from St. Joseph's now just being lifted a little bit by the Clara men, working it through defence, but they'll take great heart from it. Let's stay with this big midfielder, Conor Doyle. He made the first break of the game, gives it around to Ronan Toohey. Very noticeable the way the two wing backs are coming up in support. Down the left and right flanks, long ball into the centre. Comer broke it up there, and it's well read by the St. Joseph defence, and it's Josh Maloney bringing it clear. Back around it comes. Comer is the man that picks it up once again, tries to sell the dummy out to the far side to Shea Gleeson, just working it calmly through the hands. Donlan lets it out down that far touchline once again. Now St. Joseph's entering into this Clara half, and you can see the purple jerseys flooding back, happy enough to let them play the flanks and trying to protect that area around the top of the D. And yet again we can see the defensive system well set up, but Shea Gleeson will try and burst through that, gets the hand pass away in towards Sean Neal, linking up a little one through back here to Cathal Talty. Around to the 45 metre line it goes to Evan Cahill, gets the call from Josh Maloney. He's had a couple of cycles at the post, and to be fair to the young man, he fairly telegraphed that one to the defender in front of him. He's been fouled. Free out for Clara. Shot selection, Michael, probably the option, not, probably wrong option there, we'll say.
Probably that time was the wrong option. In fairness, he could maybe have tried to take him on, maybe, because Josh, in fairness, he was another line breaker. He's a great lad on the ball. So no, it was a great block down from the wing forward. The wing back forwards, as we said before the game, they're getting back, they're making it difficult, and when they're breaking quick enough, Derek. So we need to watch that. Conor Kearney did brilliant in the last attack they had. He cut the ball out, so they just want to be mindful that when they get to midfield, number 8, 9, they look to be moving the ball quickly into the forwards.
And they want to be careful as well from a disciplinary perspective, because they have that yellow card and a couple of frees given against them as well. But Evan Cahill this time storming through the centre, playing it offside to Dara Townsend once again. He's straight through to the top of the D. He's looking at that's brilliant defending. Outstanding work from the Clara defender there. Their full-back Christian McKeown, but the ball is being turned over. Back around it comes. It's St. Joseph's with the opportunity once again, trying to dink it inside. side. Could be danger here. Swivelling on the turn is Cathal Talty. This one hits the top of the crossbar and just taken off the line by the goalkeeper. He lost sight of it, Michael, for just half a second. Recovered in time though. Good feet from the young man. Not easy on an AstroTurf surface as it is inside there either, but almost the stroke of luck the Spanish Point needed.
It could have ended up in the back of the net, but in fairness to the keeper, he did well. But Spanish Point have come into it now, Derek, and they're starting to dominate around the middle sector.
Yeah, they're the ones kind of pushing the agenda at the moment, certainly from an attacking point of view, and it's Cathal Talty has it again. He's on the 45 metre line. Out it comes. Shea Gleeson coming up in support out to the far side of the pitch, just trying to slow it down a minute, just waiting to see what are the options inside, still holding on to it. Back around it comes to Talty once again. He'll swivel and looks across him. There is Evan Cahill, off his shoulders Gary Donlan. That's where the ball goes. Donlan up from full back to have a cut at the post, but it's half blocked down. The break is a bit scrubby inside though. Josh Maloney, could he bend his back on this one? He does well. Gets it back. Finn O'Driscoll almost had the ball. Now he has the ball in his hands. Very good work from the 13 from Cuaran Clár. Into the centre comes around to Evan Cahill, but again blocked down. There's bodies been thrown on the line here. You'd swear it was the last 3 minutes of the game, not the first 13. It's 3 in surely for Spanish Point. That's going to be a first chance for them from a place ball this afternoon. A period, Michael, of sustained pressure. It's fairly frantic inside there.
It sure is, but in fairness, the Spanish Point are kind of panicking a small bit at the minute. They're taking the shot selection, and if you look at it, Derek, Josh has had a shot. Gary Donlan, they're the defenders. They need to get the Cathal Taltys, the Unanines on the ball to get these scores. Oisin Sexton, they were the boys that will kick the scores. So look at, they have come into it. They have sustained pressure. If they can clip this over, there's only a point in it, and Spanish Point would be happy enough with that after the start of that.
Evan Cahill, no more than 30 metres out from the post, likely to the right hand side, got under it well, is the direction there. It's umpires having a look at it, and he has waved his hands wide. It's a fourth wide of the afternoon for Spanish Point. It stays 3 points to 1 in favour of Clara. 13 and a half minutes on the clock. The Bellbridge are our commentary sponsors.
Yeah, look at, in fairness, if we stand and look at this now, if you looked at the first 5 minutes, you were thinking that Clara were going to run away with this, but Spanish Point with 4 wides, they'll need to sharpen up on that, because Clara are going to get chances as well, because that Ben Kennedy up front is very, very good player, so the wides could come back to haunt us. So I just hope that they can settle down and get a few more scores, and if we can get one of the scorers on the board, it might settle them down, but they have been doing well in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Just need to build on it, and we said not really panic when they're in possession of the ball either, but Clara have it back. We have listeners from New York. Joan Vaughan of Milltown fame is listening to us over there as well. Good afternoon, good evening or good night, whatever it is at the moment, as the ball from Clara goes away out over the sideline, goes to the left and wide. Not really it's their first wide of the afternoon, but it wasn't even a shot at the post as such, as a long ball, just a little bit misdirected, but crucial now from a St. Joseph's perspective, just to put the pressure on the kick out, and looks like as if Tomas is going to be forced to go long. He does, down towards Evan Cahill. Up he goes, breaks it down. Josh Maloney reads the ball well. The Kilmurray triumvirate working well there at the minute, releasing it down the pitch. Great hands again from Cathal Talty, coming deep to win this ball. The hard working, hard running Sean Lenine is there. Out to Evan Cahill it comes again. He turns back on the 45 metre line and finds his joint captain Neelan. Into the centre it comes, working hard and good running from Dara Townsend. Slips it offside once again, coming trying to make the space. Was that a frontal charge? Referee says it was, and it was deliberate enough as well. There's already been a yellow card on the Spanish Point side, and I would be guessing, Michael, there's another one coming now for Clara.
I would think so, and I think there's the man that was fouled in the first minute is going to pick up the yellow now. It looks like to me Conor Doyle, in fairness, Paul Frawley made a great run through the middle, and he was frontally taken down, so hopefully he'll be okay, because he's vital to Spanish Point.
Yeah, he's just getting treatment at the minute. I'd say it's one of those that just takes the wind out. He kind of turned into the challenge as much as anything, and in fairness to Conor Doyle, there's plenty of him there to leave his impression, and it looks like he did. But we're almost midway, exactly, just gone through the midway point of this first half. 3 points to 1. St. Joseph's, though, certainly, Michael, in the last 10 of those 15 or 16 minutes have been the team with all the ball, but ultimately the scoreboard, we know that counts.
That's it, you see, they've only 1 point. In fairness, Clara were on fire in the first 4 or 5 minutes and kicked him 3 points, but
it's gone, I think. Yeah. You're just looking down here, Michael, Paul Dillon indicating that Paul Frawley's race could well be run, but he's back up onto his feet, proving his teacher wrong.
Okay.
So there'll be no fear of him. I think we spotted his dad coming in there a while ago as well, so plenty support here for them. Thankfully Paul's back up onto his feet. Great heritage, of course, in that family from a football point of view. Not bad one either with Cathal Talty as he looks to send this ball goalwards. The umpire's craning his neck, and he's making a dart over to the far side to pick up the flag, because that ball's gone between the posts. Fine kick from Cathal. We've seen him and various county squads up along 3 points to 2, and as we mentioned, they'll be happy enough.
Happy enough, yeah, but again, Spanish Point need to press the kick out now. Don't give us soft kick out to Clara, press up and put the pressure on their kick out.
And that's exactly, we'll wait and see, will that happen? It's a 2v1 here as we're pushing the back. Referee's happy enough to let it go. Dara Townsend is the man that has the ball. Out towards the top of the D he comes. The Cahill Talty once again puts plenty behind this one and sticks it over the bar. It took a slight deflection off the top of the crossbar, but maybe, Michael, we're not giving enough credit for the conditions down there, because Cahill put a fair old effort into that from 30 yards out, and it had about an inch to spare.
Yeah, in fairness to him, so what a brilliant kick from Cahill, in fairness. But Dara Townsend again, Derek, I have to mention him in the semi-final. He was man of the match, and today he's proven to be very good again. Won the kick out. Keep the pressure on now. Keep pressing, keep the pressure on, because Spanish Point are on top now.
We'll leave the conversation between his uncles Joe and baby John to know who is the better footballer out of the Killeen household, but I can tell you Dara is certainly keeping up the family tradition here in Tuam this afternoon. 3 points apiece, 17 and a half minutes gone. The Belbridge House Hotel, our commentary sponsors. Ronan Toohey taking the ball into contact. Referee has the hand out for advantage. More than 5 seconds have gone, so you may take that down once again, sir. Conor Taylor, the other wing back, is up past the 45 metre line, taking up this ball, level pegging. We'll have to have a quick check on the front of the programme to see what will happen if it finishes our core score, as the fella says, but we'll be keeping an eye on that one very shortly. Clara still holding on to the ball. It's over on the far side again. Conor Doyle, this man has come on to plenty possessions right throughout the contest. Kevin Minnick has come up from the corner back position as well, taking this ball forward. Spanish Point just again letting them go way down the flanks, protect the top of the D. If the scoring zone is safe, it will take something special, and if they get it from there, well, fair play to them. And again, pushing back towards the 45, they'll be happy enough, Michael, let them play it all around and then hope to hit him on the counter.
For sure, and certainly, look, that's fine. They're not in any danger there where they are now. The centre back is in the middle of the field now, and they seem to be set up, but they maybe want to just get someone in front of Conor Kearney there, because he's a break, you know, and it's a 1-on-1 inside.
A great hit put in there by Diarmuid Comer, but unfairly so, says the referee, and it's a 50-50 one, Michael, with our biased hat on. I suppose we'd say it was harsh, but in fairness, it was maybe slightly on the edge.
It was harsh, but slightly frontal. Yeah. So look at it. It's so I presume that Clara will take the goalie up again to have a call at this.
And he's taken his sweet time trotting up as well. It'll be from a similar position, maybe a little bit more centrally from where he scored the first one, and we saw he gave that one plenty welly as well. And it's Scott Griffiths is the man that is on the ground at the minute, just receiving attention. In fairness to Diarmuid Comer, we were talking about how physical the Clara lads are. There's plenty of him there as well, and he didn't steal it either, so he's well able to use it down there in front of us as we watch the keeper. He's just going to have to wait for his teammate to get the treatment, because he's in his way at the minute. He's right in front of the ball. Thankfully, from his point of view, he's up onto his feet. Clara looking to retake the lead. They win 3 points to no score in front. Spanish Point levelled it to make it 3-all. This one's going to drop short, and the break is still in around there. Was there a foot in? There was. We could spot it from here. In fairness, clever play there from Ben Kennedy. Went down to pick up the ball. Someone came in with a boot just as he was picking it up, and a merited free and a chance for them to go in front once more.
Yeah, in fairness, it was a free that time. I think it was Diarmuid Comer again. He came and broke it out and went for the Ben went to the ground, and he's free now on the 13 metre line. So you would be expecting him to tap this over.
Slightly to the right hand side of the post, as we said. They went from 3 up to level at 3-all, and now it's back in front again. Once again go the Clara men, 4 points to 3 on a clock that tells us 20 minutes, so 10 plus additional time to go to the break. It's been cagey enough so far. This Kennedy has been the chief scorer for them. He's got 3 of their 4 points so far, 2 from play, and that free there just a couple of moments ago. Kick out once again for Tomas Sexton. They look to go long. He look to find Evan Cahill, who goes up, but the ball breaks in front of him, and it's Conor Doyle who comes away with it. Shows the dummy there to Paul Frawley. Wasn't buying it though, and once again the referee says that that's going to be a free in, and well, again slightly contested, and certainly on the free count I think it's somewhere 6-4 at the minute, but a lot of the Clara ones, they're kind of scrobby fouls. They're getting no major value out of them.
If I was in the sideline, Derek, I'd be doing a bit of screaming now. That was no free. Josh Maloney was tackling perfectly well. That was a very, very harsh free.
Free coming in from Barry Egan, hanging it high in towards the post, and maybe a little bit of justice as the ball goes away out to the right hand side and wide. It stays 4 points to 3, 21 minutes on the clock. The Belbridge House Hotel, our commentary sponsors. Kick out once again for Tomas Sexton. The last few have gone long. Michael, would you stick with it?
Well, look, they don't seem. No, Dara Townsend seems to have made one, but they're pushed up man to man. So when that happens, you have no choice. You land someone in trouble. So, but in fairness, the right man has it now in Josh. He's great experience and he's very good on the ball.
those ones always just, you take a little bit of a breath in, because if they go wrong, you are left seriously exposed. But thankfully they've worked it out here, down along this right hand touchline. Good work outside there once again from Conor Carney, taking that ball into contact once again, going back. Dara Townsend really putting himself about in this game. Down the line it comes towards Evan Cahill. He's been really involved as well. St. Joseph's looking to push back the game. Their core scorer Arish, it's Cahill Talty with the ball 45 metres out from the post. Is he trying to get the space to get that Kitog flying? Maybe the scoring zone is about 10 yards further in with that breeze that's down there, so he has to go all the way across the 45 metre line to Killian Keevy, a big strong man here as well from St. Joseph's. Miltown slips the ball into the centre. Now maybe a chance to work it across to Ewan Leneen. Very, very tight angle, 2 men on him, back to goal, so he's going to have to look for support, and it comes there from Gary Donlan. Sells the dummy, good feet from the full back, who's now up in a very attacking position, around to Dara Townsend again. St. Joseph's just having to be very, very patient, waiting for that little pocket of space to come. 4 points to 3, 8 minutes to go to half time, and raiding forward Diarmuid Comer. Ball just wouldn't come to hand first time. He did well to hold on to it. His one is free as well. The advantage is coming. He'll have his shot at the post. It'll drop short and come back for the free. Well, when you need someone like to punch a hole, great work from Comer. Did well to recover the spill pass as well. One is free and a chance to level it up again.
Yeah, in fairness, Diarmuid did well. That's his second time breaking out now. In fairness to him, he's done well. He's got the free, and looks like Ewan Leneen this time is going to take it from the edge of the D.
He's in a fairly scoreable position at the minute. As we said, this will be probably just on the edge of where it is, given the conditions that are here. It's Clara leading at the minute, 4 points to 3. The clock telling us just 23 minutes gone, as Ewan Leneen looks at the post, gives a plenty welly and puts it between the posts once again. Great score for the man from St. Joseph's, Miltown. It's his first of the afternoon, and it is now level pegging once again. It's 4 points apiece here in Tuam Stadium. 23 and a half minutes played.
Yeah, in fairness, look, at Spanish Point will be happy, especially after the start, and they've looked more likely at getting a goal than Clara, so that small bit more potency might be up front. So look, they'll be happy. They'll be definitely happy. Press the kick out. They're doing fine. So it's going to be an intriguing game, Derek, from now on.
They're forced to go long, and up goes the hand there of Evan Cahill, breaking down. Good work from his midfield partner Paul Frawley, going right through the centre onto the 21. A ball just evaded him there. 4 Clara men converged. He could do very little. He did brilliantly to win the break, but now it's Clara breaking up the field, and it's Conor Doyle hitting a long direct ball in towards the full forward line. The referee says that's once again going to be a free in. It was Conor Carney that was isolated inside. Referee from 30 yards away spotted a little tongue in the jersey, gives the free in on the top of the D at the other side.
Yeah, the slight difference I'm seeing at the moment between both teams, Derek, looking from up here, is when Clara break, they are willing to put the ball in long. Yeah. And that, to me, and Spanish Point are looking to solo all the way in to get the score. They're going to have to vary up their game to get the ball in early, because Ewan Leneen is a fine forward. Give him the ball. He scored 2-4 or 2-5 in the semi-final. So it just seems to me that they're willing to give that ball that bit earlier, and that's what's keeping them slightly ahead at the minute.
And when you have a man like Ben Kennedy who can kick frees from that kind of a range, why wouldn't you? He's got his 4th of the afternoon. It's Clara leading by 5 points to 4, coming up on 25 minutes gone here in this opening half. And again, that might come back to conditions, because you know, we're sheltered somewhat from it in here. We're not as cold as others might be, but I'd say down pitch side it's fairly significant.
Oh, it probably is, yeah. It looks it, and conditions are heavy, but that's another great win of a kick out for Spanish Point. They're doing very well in that sector of it.
They certainly are. And Diarmuid Comer having the ball, just dropping the shoulder to sell the dummy, and sends it out to the far side of the field. Once again coming on down that near side, it's Killian Keevy just holding on to the ball, waiting for the support to come, and it does. St. Joseph's again just having to be very, very patient here. Paul Frawley has the ball on the 65 metre line, looking up. There's nearly 2 Clara sweepers inside there, so maybe that's why the long ball option isn't on.
Yeah, but that was too far. He kicked that ball from the middle of the field that time. So in fairness, they've got to take it in, but the lads inside have got to move as well. You can't expect a miracle ball, but this is what Clara have been doing. They've been getting up to the 45, and then they've been looking to deliver the ball in. They've no one in there now, thank God.
And there's real pace about them when they do. It's Conor Taylor up from wing back. Ball stripped away from him, and for once the referee's whistle doesn't blow. And now St. Joseph's have the chance to break, but he pulls it back. He pulls it back. He's going to have a little chat with somebody here, and this is one of my absolute pet peeves. Let the play develop. You've plenty of time to pull out your notebook after.
Yeah, maybe he thought Gary Donlan was injured, since Gary was down. It was a brilliant dispossession from Gary, but as you said, let it go and let the physio come on, leave the game moving, gives chance to Clara now to get everyone back.
But they'll have to do that with Cathal Talty on the ball. The hand is up for advantage. Maybe he's trying to make up for it. Good angle ball inside to Ewan Lenine. Just can't take it first time. He's still scrapping away for it though. This fellow won't give up too handy. Into the back he gave the shoulders to the referee. And in fairness, he was right on the scene for that one. But you mentioned the difference, Michael, in how they attack, but also the method of attack. Like Clara have trapped ball first time a lot more often up there.
They have, in fairness to them. Kennedy has been the go-to guy inside. It just hasn't happened for the Spanish Point lads yet. But there's a long way to go. And as you alluded to earlier, Derek, conditions are tough. We're in here in the commentary box. We're not getting the rain. And I'm sure there's a nice breeze down the pitch side as well.
5 points to 4. It's Ardscoil Chiaráin Naofa from Clara leading St. Joseph's Spanish Point. 26.5 played here at Tuam Stadium. The Belbridge House Hotel, no doubt they're tuned into this one. Derek Logan, John Sullivan and all the crew down there. Great supporters of St. Joseph's and indeed the surrounding communities as well. Back the ball comes to Barry Egan. He's very, very close to that far stand sideline, so he won't do too much damage from there. The direction just coming to play him back, but there's a man waiting all on his own over here if they spot him. That is Conor Doyle. You don't want this fella to be getting the ball where he can punch holes, and that's exactly where it's going. Josh Maloney comes out to say hello to him. Did he put enough pressure on? He did, but the referee's inside and he's saying that he spotted a half a block on that one. It'll be a 45 for Clara, but if they'd spotted him a half a second earlier, it could have been more.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't. He was actually wide open, so look, it's not too bad to get away with a 45. I presume the goalkeeper will make his way up again. He has scored one and missed one, so
yeah, he's doing just that, trotting all the way up from the post to take this 45 metre free. Given how we saw the distance of some of them, he should have the range for this one. He has 2.5 minutes left to go to the break. And don't think we'll see a digital board here this afternoon, but you can guess to be somewhere around the 2 or 3 minute mark. I think just he's indicating down there too, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see. There's a player tying their boot. The Clara lads are not happy down there as the 45 metre free comes in. It's a dangerous one and it's gone wide. So thanks be to God it's gone wide. For a minute it looked as if it had perhaps hit that back stanchion. It was a dangerous enough one inside, Mike. It was the perfect height to cause trouble, but thankfully away to the right and wide.
Away to the right and wide. Our Tomas had it covered, in fairness to him. He saw where it was going, and it was actually hit the back stanchion, so it was well wide. But it's one of them on a bad day that can slip into the goals and change the complexion of everything.
Long ball out here towards Sean Neal, and up he goes and traps it as well. He was entitled to call his mark there, ref. Yeah, he's going to give him the little bit of advantage there, and Josh Maloney's going to trot up past the 65 metre line. There's still just 1 point between the sides. We're approaching half time, and in 90 seconds we will hit that point. Gary Donlan takes the solo, does well to hold on to it. Across to the 45 metre line it goes. Frawley coming down through the centre off the left and off balance as well, kicking that ball away out to the left hand side. It stays out and wide. It's another wide on the board for St. Joseph's Spanish Point at the minute. Somewhere around the 4 or 5 mark I think they have at the minute 5, yeah. So the chances have been there, and you said it at the start, Michael, just at times a little bit panicked and rushed in their kicking.
Yeah, a small bit panicked and rushed, and as I said to you, it's the lads that have had the wides, or the lads that are not your shooters. So I definitely would seriously consider, if I was Spanish Point management, I know he's having an influence in the game now, Cathal Talty at centre forward, but I definitely in the second half would be looking to put him in, because he can score, in fairness to him, and it's just not happening for the guys inside at the moment. So switch it up, but I think if Spanish Point are to win, they'll have to put him in.
Josh Maloney is going right down through the centre. He still has the ball, needs support off the shoulder from his fellow joint captain. Here comes the shot from Neelan to tie things up. That is a beautiful score off his left foot. Josh Maloney punched the hole, Neelan sat back, one found the other, Neelan split the post. A gorgeous kick from the number 10. We're level at 5 points apiece, exactly at the halfway mark.
Great run from Josh Maloney, in fairness. He spotted Sean Neelan on his right hand side, popped the ball to him, he stepped inside onto his perceived weaker foot and kicked an excellent score with his left leg over the bar.
2 minutes additional time. I wronged them in here in Tuam. There is a board down here underneath us with that red number telling us that we have played 16 seconds of the 2 minutes of additional time. Ball broken down once again by Evan Cahill. Josh Maloney quickest to it, gets the hand pass back now. Comer trying to thread it down through. Good ball towards Lenine and towards Sean Neelan, and it was exactly between the two of them. One thought the other might win it. It goes out over the line. Line ball for Clara, 5 points apiece. 10 scores shared evenly between these Clare and Offaly schools in an All-Ireland final. What an achievement it would be for either or to win it. It's Clara at the moment holding on to the ball through Conor Taylor. The ball just goes to the ground once again, picked up there by Killian Keevy. Great work from the Milltown man. Ewan Lenine has it. puts it into the centre. It's a chance for St. Joseph's just to open up that defence. Long low ball. It's Cathal Talty at the top of the right, bends the back and gets away from his man Jinx outside. Looks up, gets the support. It's Killian Keevy on this near side of the pitch. Into the centre comes to Dara Townsend, holds on to that ball well. And he gives it back to Keevy, just has to slow it down because the cover is back, goes all the way back between the two 65s to Josh Maloney, those bright green boots. I don't know what Stephen and Brendan are proving him on the pudding night, but we'll see how that goes on. They won't mind if he brings an All-Ireland medal home to Spanish Point later on this evening. Across it goes to Dara Townsend, holding on to that ball on the 45-metre line. Out they go. Oisin Sexton is very, very wide out on that far sideline. Maybe try and get him a little bit more involved in the play. We know what he can do as well. Just still, it's St. Joseph's holding on to it through Townsend at the minute. Flicks it outside. The clock will tell us 31-45. So I'd imagine this will be very, very close to the last play of the game. Townsend linking up nicely with Paul Frawley going through. Sells the dummy back onto his left and just tried to slip it over the head to Ewan Lenine, but in fairness, once again, it's that man Conor Doyle for Clara. He broke up the play, and indeed it was the last action of the half. But just to get the feeling, Michael, they're an inch or two from finding the way to unlock them. 5 points apiece. They'll be happy with that going into the break.
I think they will, especially after the start that Clara had. I think Spanish Point will be happy enough. And to me, they've created more of the goal chances. Clara really had the speculative 45 that went in and hit the back stanchion, so Spanish Point have hit the crossbar. Well, Union Eanes could have been a goal. It hit the crossbar and went over the bar, so that was a goal chance. Another one, there would have been a goal chance there if Paul Farrelly had got his hand pass off, but unfortunately he didn't. But it is all to play for, but I still think Spanish Point will need Talty inside the danger zone if they're going to get these scores at vital times. He's done very well at centre forward, but it just doesn't seem to be happening for Finn O'Driscoll in there. So maybe take him out to 11 and put in Cathal Talty. They're the 8 of the breeze in this half. So I just think maybe that could unlock him.
Just watching the management down there, Michael, as soon as Paul Reedy came past Sean O'Brien, the message was just tell them calm down. Like we've seen that, they had a slow enough start when Clara got the first 3 scores, but from there on in, it's been all St. Joseph's once they settled.
Oh, definitely is. Of course it has. It's been all St. Joseph. If we look down here, they have 6 starting forwards. Well, as we said, Marcus Dalton didn't start, but Kennedy's the only one that has scored from play. Spanish Point, Cathal Talty scored from play, and Union Eanes, so 2 forwards have scored there. So it's Kennedy seems to be the danger man, and we don't know what the situation with Marcus Dalton is. I knew he was carrying an injury. I spoke to him before they came out onto the pitch that he had a hamstring injury, and we knew that was the case. So that's a big plus because, but I presume they're definitely going to spring him at some stage. There's bound to be 10-15 minutes in him at some stage. He's the best forward the Offaly 20s have. So I'd be thinking there, so he must be badly injured when they didn't start him. He didn't, as I said, he came off in the Leinster final, he didn't play the semi-final, so if they get something out of him, he could be a big player in this game yet.
Yeah, the need might be there. Hopefully, from a Spanish Point perspective, we hope that they think that they need him. It's half-time here in Chew Stadium. The sides are level. Ardscoil, Chiaráin, Naofa from Clara, 5 points. St. Joseph's from Spanish Point, 5 points. Much more chat to come. We'll take a very quick break. Gets the ball back into his hands now. It goes through. First shot at the post here for Cathal Talty. Talty looking at them, but again, just going to the left.
In fairness to him, he broke the line, which is going to be very, very important today. Breaking that line, in fairness to him, he got up, but unlucky. Look at it, just tail wide.
Kick out once again up to the clouds goes Evan Cahill up in support, stepping inside, trying to get onto that right leg. Cahill has got a fine kit hug on him, so too has Josh Maloney. The right isn't bad either, sells the dummy, but again it goes to the right.
The ball has got to be moved.
Second kick out, one against the head, to use that rugby phrase, and it's Dara Townsend who is the man that slips it clear in towards Ewan Lenine. He's got a man over Lenine, just skies it. He is the man that has the ball on the 45. Josh Maloney raiding down this right wing, just settling up, trying to come on the inside, back to Ewan Lenine in front of the post. That was half blocked down, good block as well. But Evan Cahill this time storming through the centre, playing it offside to Dara Townsend once again. He's straight through to the top of the D. He's looking at that's brilliant defending. Outstanding work. The ball has been turned over. Back around it comes. It's St. Joseph's with the opportunity once again, trying to dink it inside. Could be danger here. Swivelling on the turn is Cathal Talty. This one hits the top of the cross. Finn O'Driscoll almost had the ball. Now he has the ball in his hands. Very good work from the 13 from Clonmacnoise into the centre, comes around to Evan Cahill, but again blocked down. There's bodies.
Point in it, and Spanish Point would be happy enough with that after the start of that.
Evan Cahill no more than 30 metres out from the post, likely to the right hand side, got under it well, is the direction there. It's umpires having a look at it. It's his joint captain Neelan into the centre, it comes working hard and good running from Dara Townsend, slips it offside once again, coming trying to make the space. Was that a frontal charge? Referee says it was. Onto his feet, a great heritage of course in that family from a football point of view. Not bad one either with Cahill Talty as he looks to send this ball goalwards. The umpire's craning his neck and he's making it happen. It's a 2v1 here as we're pushing the back. Referee's happy enough to let it go. Dara Townsend is the man that has the ball. Out towards the top of the D he comes to Cahill Talty once again. Puts plenty behind.
Seemed to be set up, but they maybe want to just get someone in front of Conor Kearney there because he's a break now and it's a 1-on-1 inside.
A great hit put in there by Diarmuid Comer, but unfairly so, says the referee. Retake the lead. They win 3 points to no score in front. Spanish Point levelled it to make it 3-all. This one's going to drop short and the break is still in around there. Was there a foot in? There was.
Free now on the 13 metre line, so you would be expecting him to tap this over.
Slightly to the right hand side of the post, as we said. They went from 3 up to level at 3-all, and now it's back in front again. But the ball breaks in front of him, and it's Conor Doyle who comes away with it. Shows the dummy there to Paul Frawley. Wasn't buying it though, and once again the referee says that is given the conditions that are here. It's Clara leading at the minute 4 points to 3. The clock telling us just 23 minutes gone as Ewan Need looks at the post, gives a plinty welly and puts it between the birds. He could do very little. He did brilliantly to win the break, but now it's Clara breaking up the field and it's Conor Doyle hitting a long direct ball in towards the full forward line. The referee
have to vary up their game to get the ball in early because Ewan Need is a fine forward. Give him the ball. He scored 2-4 or 2-5 in the semi-finals. So it just seems to me that they're willing to give that
ball on the 65 metre line, looking up. There's nearly 2 Clara sweepers inside there, so maybe that's why the long ball option isn't on.
Yeah, but that was too far. He kicked that ball from the middle of the field that time.
Both of them, when they do, it's Conor Taylor up from wing back. Ball stripped away from him, and for once the referee's whistle doesn't blow. And now St. Joseph's have the chance to break, but he pulls it back. This fella to be getting the ball where he can punch holes, and that's exactly where it's going. Josh Maloney comes out to say hello to him. Did he put enough pressure on? He did, but the referee's inside, and he's saying that he spotted a half a block on that one. It'll be a 45 for. So we'll just have to wait and see. There's a player tying their boot. The Clara lads are not happy down there as the 45 metre free comes in. It's a dangerous one, and it's gone wide. Josh Maloney is going right down through the centre. He still has the ball, needs support off the shoulder from his fellow joint captain. Here comes the shot from Neelan to tie things up. That is a beautiful 41-45. So I'd imagine this will be very, very close to the last play of the game. Townsend linking up nicely with Paul Frawley going through, sells the dummy back onto his left, and just Doyle, and to be the first shot at the post for Tommy Bracken. The clock will tell us 1:20 on the clock as he comes to strike this bright orange boot, sending the ball goalwards. The Clara looking to release it into the centre again to Conor Doyle. Andy goes off on the loop again, gets the hand pass inside. Nice movement here from the offering men, trying to make the angle for the shot, and that is tipped in.
All that work came from the wing forward here, number 12, Miles Handy. So look at Spanish Point need to get their hands on the ball.
Kick out goes long up to the clouds, going hard to spot him over there on that far side of the pitch. High looping ball coming in, first shot at the post for St. Joseph's. It goes away out to the left hand side and wide. That came off the boot of it from Tomas Sexton. Anticipated it was going to come short, got it out, and now gets Spanish Point back on the attack. It's Sean Neelan down this right hand channel, takes on the man, brought to the ground. They go and attack, they certainly commit to as well, and they're doing just that. We'll talk about that in a second, because Miles Handy has broken clear, slipping it off inside. Another chance here for the full forward Kennedy, and he's put a hand for him, but he's battling bravely and gets the ball back into his hands. Now it goes through. First shot of the post here for Cahill Talty. Talty looking at them, but again just going to the left.
In fairness to him, he broke the line, which is going to be very, very important today. Breaking that line, in fairness to him, he got up, but unlucky. Look at it, just tail wide.
Kick out once again up to the clouds goes Evan Cahill up in support, stepping inside, trying to get onto that right leg. Cahill has got a fine kit hug on him, so too has Josh Maloney. The right isn't bad either, sells the dummy, but again it goes to the right.
The ball has got to be moved.
Second kick out, one against the head, to use that rugby phrase, and it's Dara Townsend who is the man that slips it clear in towards Ewan Lenine. He's got a man over Lenine, just skies it. He is the man that has the ball on the 45. Josh Maloney raiding down this right wing, just settling up, trying to come on the inside, back to Ewan Lenine in front of the post. That was half blocked down, good block as well. But Evan Cahill this time storming through the centre, playing it offside to Darragh Townsend once again. He's straight through to the top of the D. He's looking at that's brilliant defending. Outstanding work. The ball has been turned over. Back around it comes. It's St. Joseph's with the opportunity once again, trying to dink it inside. Could be danger here. Swivelling on the turn is Cahill Talty. This one hits the top of the cross. Finn O'Driscoll almost had the ball. Now he has the ball in his hands. Very good work from the 13 from Ciaráin Clár. Into the centre, comes around to Evan Cahill. But again, blocked down. There's bodies.
Point in it, and Spanish Point would be happy enough with that after the start of that.
Evan Cahill no more than 30 metres out from the post, likely to the right hand side, got under it well, is the direction there. It's umpires having a look at it. He's joined Captain Neelan into the centre.
National League, and the structure of the National League is brilliant, and we are striving to get a perfect scenario for championship. That's what I would love to see. I'd love to see, like Sam Maguire,
to make the most sense.
Premiership, next division, and you fight your way to get to the top. I think so, but look at, to be fair, the provincial councils are brilliant. They do brilliant work, and even our province, Munster, they give grants every year to the clubs in County Clare that do development. So I'm sure it's something they could look at to try keep it that way. Sure, look at, if we go back, the Munster Hurling Championship is one of the best you'll ever see. It's so competitive. So it's tooth and far. It's just the way the football has gone. But the National League is structured absolutely brilliant.
Could be the way forward. We'll see how things will go forward here for St. Joseph's. Spanish Point in the second half. They're back out onto the field, and Michael's pointing down because he can see Cahill Talty trotting towards the inside line there for the second half. No changes on either side at half time that I can see. 17 for Ardscoil, Chiaráin, Naofa. He started the game, Scott Griffith, so he's gone in. We want to wish the best of luck as well to the three Clare girls involved in today's O'Connor Cup final. As we said, it's on at 4:15 just up the road here in Bacon. Aisling Reedy, Shifra Nicunnell and Amy Sexton all involved there. They're taking on DCU, so we wish them the very best of luck. And an update from the Premier League as well. Bournemouth 1, Liverpool 0. There are more than 7 minutes gone in that particular game, as Michael smiles here beside me. Let's hope we're smiling again, Michael, in around 37 minutes time as we watch our referee just making sure everything is in place. This new rule now to keep everybody back as far as they can from the throw-in. We saw Clara with a very, very positive start from the initial one. Can they do something similar? They can't, because up goes Cahill and breaks that ball to the ground. But it's that man Doyle who comes onto it once again. 5 points apiece. The Bellbridge House Hotel are our commentary sponsors here this afternoon, and breaking down the field and being pulled back at the moment there is the Clara corner forward Barry Egan, so he'll be just pulled back. Sorry, just checking a little technical thing there. He's been pulled back. It'll be a free in just on the 45 metre line, so a chance for them, and this will give us a fair indication, Michael, as to the strength of the breeze, because one, they didn't bring up the keeper, and two, he's gone short to the full forward. His name is Ben Kennedy. Joan Vaughan in New York tells me that they've found the link and they're well tuned in. I hope you're enjoying it, Joan, and I hope you're enjoying the fact that St. Joseph's have turned this ball over and there's an advantage coming once again. What a brilliant weekend we had outside with the Clare hurlers in New York getting their championship medals back in January. Please God, there'll be a senior one to celebrate in a couple of years' time as well. Josh Maloney has the ball, far side of the pitch for the St. Joseph's men, into the corner towards Talty, controls that with his feet and then bends down to pick it up. Long left loose ball inside towards Ewan Lenine, trying to get inside, gets the hand pass across, it's deflected inside and taken off the line by Tommy Bracken inside in the Clara goal. A half a goal chance there for St. Joseph's, ends up in a line ball on the far side of the pitch, but Ewan Lenine, what great work he did to get the hand to it to try and release the chance inside. We'll stay with the play at the moment. Sean Eden linking it back around once again, big shot from distance coming in. It's Cahill Talty sending it high up into the air, but it goes away out to the left hand side and wide. Almost a goal, Mike, ends up in a point.
Yeah, almost a goal. In fairness, it was a great ball from Josh Maloney, and Cahill Talty won it. He put it in on top of Ewan Lenine. He fisted it forward and Finn O'Driscoll had a go, but in fairness, the goalie had his wits about him, and they got the ball out. So a disappointing wide for Spanish Point again. I'd love to see Spanish Point go ahead and see how Chiaráin react.
Lovely catch once again, Evan Cahill. It's one thing the Spanish Point have dominated is the Clara kick out. They've done very, very well on that. They certainly won the majority of them. Diarmuid Comer coming through the centre. It's Finn O'Driscoll picking the ball up, kicking just from the top of the D. The man from Clare, but it's just dropping short into the goalkeeper's hands. 2 attacks in the second half, Michael, inside the first 2 minutes, but nothing on the board again.
No, in fairness, it dropped into the goalie's hands again from Finn O'Driscoll, but it was a great break by Diarmuid Comer.
Ball down the line here, but too close to the line. It goes out over it. The atmosphere really ratcheting up here in Tuam, it must be said. There's a fine Clara crowd down here away to our right hand side, and I can see that is Brendan Lowry down there with the green cap in his head. He's very, very animated, I must say. I think, did Shane make the cut in the Players' Championship this weekend? He'll be probably heading home to watch that a little bit later on. Josh Maloney has the ball on the far side of the pitch, looking down the line again. It goes. Cahill Talty, 3 balls into him, he's won all 3, but he's on the 45. Maybe needs to be a little bit deeper. Takes his man on, wins the free, wins the advantage. It'll come back for that free, and the referee will do a little bit of administrative work as well. The notebook is out of the pocket anyway, but you touched on it, Michael. Cahill Talty, that focal point inside.
Definitely, yeah. He's any ball has gone into him, he's won it. And also, I suppose in the middle of that switch, Oisin Sexton has gone to centre forward, so Spanish might need him to come into the game as well. There's Talty now over the bar,
working it through the lines, working it towards Talty, and for the first time this afternoon, St. Joseph Spanish Point hit the front. They do so in the 33rd minute through the boot of Cahill Talty, his 3rd point of the afternoon. It's 6 points to 5. Very positive start.
Yeah, look at a great score. I had alluded to it before at half time that if Spanish Point were to win this game, I felt it was vital to get him into the inside line. In fairness, he's accurate. He might have had a couple of wides already, but in fairness to him, the majority of the time he'd split the post, and it's causing a bit of anarchy in there as well now.
And on the kick out, they have to go along with it, and inside underneath this, taking it down is Killian Keevy. Great hands from the man wearing 7, slips it inside to Ewan Leneen. He takes the ball away, out to the top of the D it goes. Once again, it's Oisin Sexton sizing this one up, hanging it towards the post and putting it over the bar. From Milltown to Kilmurray or Bricken, they'll celebrate that one as Oisin Sexton gives St. Joseph's a 2-point lead. It's 7 points to 5, 4 gone second half.
Again, that switch has changed everything, Derek. Has got, as I just said a few minutes ago, it has got Oisin Sexton into the game. He's now in the mixer. He's down around the centre forward, an excellent kicker of the ball, and that's a superb score.
First point for him, and they've turned the kick out over once again, slipping it and working it through the hands. Oisin got the last one, and he has got the most recent one as well. It's 3 points on the board, 4 minutes on the clock. It's 8 points to 5. It's St. Joseph stretching in front.
It's a mirror image of the first half.
Yeah.
We'll see now what Clara made of. In fairness to Spanish Point, they showed great heart and determination to come back when Clara made that great start. So Spanish Point have it now, so it's looking really good. As you said, Derek, after the first 7 or 8 minutes, Spanish Point have dominated around the middle sector. Killian Keevy winning a great kick out there, in fairness to him, and it's setting up another score. But that's 2 great kicks from Oisin Sexton.
Over the bar it goes, and it's a kick out once again, and again Cahill will put the pressure on, up they go, but this time Clara in control of their own restart. They trail 8 points to 5. 5 minutes gone second half here in Tuam Stadium. It'll erupt. Whatever bit of a roof is left here on the stand might well be taken off by the time this one is over, but it's still Clara coming through towards the 45 metre line. The big stride of Conor Doyle linking up here with James Cullen, coming in off the sideline in towards the top of the D. Chance here for the wing back too. Into the centre comes James Cullen, bearing down on goal. Someone needs to herd him back, and they do. He still swings the boot and puts it over the bar. Good response from the Offaly men. For a minute he started looking at the eyes of Thomas Sexton, but enough Spanish Point jerseys came around to hunt him back. He still had the composure, Mike, to swing and swivel. Good score, back to 2.
Actually a great score, Derek, in fairness, in tough conditions. He worked it. It looked as if he was going to get in for goal, but he didn't. Came back onto his left leg and kicked a great score over the bar. So that's a good response from Clara, in fairness to them. We questioned would it happen, and straight away they came up and got a score.
Gerard Townsend bringing the ball out from his own half of the pitch down this near side. It comes to Killian Keevy. Those bright green boots, bit of a strapping as well. It looks like on his right shin there. Nice little 1-2 working it through the lines. Just being patient in possession. Down the line it comes to Sean Nealon, joint captain at the side, as we said. Will he be lifting it with Josh Maloney? We hope that'll happen at the end of this match. Down to the corner. It's Finn O'Driscoll just holding on to it. He's being shepherded out there by Darren McKeown. Big imposing frame of the centre back for Clara, but still it's in possession of the football. Cahill Talty getting it all the way back here. It's the 45-metre line. Paul Frawley, good ball inside to Ewan Leneen. Can he make the space? Leneen looks at the posts and dissects them. Oh, brilliant. That's an outstanding score once again from Ewan Leneen. But Michael, credit to Finn O'Driscoll inside in that corner. 2 Clara defenders around him, had the presence of thought to get the ball out to Cathal Talty, recycles it out here, and a brilliant kick there from Ewan Leneen.
Yeah, that's a great score. In fairness to Finn, he did very well. Popped to the Cathal. Cathal gave a lovely pass out the field in Paul Frawley into Ewan. Ewan has been the chief scorer all year, in fairness to him, and that's a super score. He has 2-point score from play again today and 1 free. So again, he get the ball into him. Give the ball to the boys and they'll do the damage.
7 minutes gone, second half. It's St. Joseph's leading by 9 points to 6 here in Tuam Stadium, and just a little bit of administrative work being done outside there. I think that might be Dara Townsend being spoken to by the referee. We've already seen 1 yellow card flashed early doors in the first half there to Killian Keevy, and will the number 12 be entering the Lower Unrator as well? Looks like he is, yeah. Yellow card, Cartabui, Dara Townsend of Curran Clár. And mentioning Curran Clár, the Gaelga officer, Ufagur Gaelga Agus Culture, to give him his full title, Joe Gary giving a mention. There's a great night lined up in Cushnahauna later this evening. The score finals on there. There's a brilliant amount of clubs taking part, so the best of luck to everybody involved, and Cogardagus de Joseph for organising most of that as well. Brilliant impact by him early doors on the county board. Great impact as well upside by Evan Cahill, getting the ball wrapped around once again to Evan Townsend, and Josh Maloney hitting the line at pace up towards the 45-metre line, spinning around, going to contact, pulled to the ground, free in for St. Joseph's, and we're about to see a substitution being made here by Clara. It's Greg Byrne who'll be making way. Coming on will be Aaron Kelly. We don't need to tell you his club, from 1 to 27 they're all Clara. It makes our job a small bit handier, but obviously, Michael, now we're looking at 8 minutes gone second half. They're trailing by 3. They still haven't gone for your man Dalton, so it must be bad.
No, he must be in trouble. Yeah, he must be, and he's a major loss to him. But look at that's great for Spanish point, in fairness. And this is a tough kick here from the 45. It looks like Josh Maloney is going to have a pop at it.
Yeah, he's standing like he's going to have a fair old belt at it as well. One of the more diminutive figures on the pitch. He gets a fair old distance behind that one, and that's an outstanding score. I'm not quite sure did Brendan or Stephen or indeed Puddin ever land them off the ground like that, Michael, but by God, Josh can do it. That's a brilliant kick from the wing back. St. Joseph's go 10 points to 6 in front. 9 minutes gone, second half.
And fairness to Josh, what a brilliant kick. Josh is a leader. That's why he's joint captain of this team, and you can see exactly why. Heart and soul, he's driving the team forward from the half back line, and is having a great game.
No doubt Puddin knows what to tell me later on how many of them he got and what dates he got him on as well, but I can tell you Josh got one today and he's well entitled to a brilliant score. 10 points to 6. St. Joseph's in front. The Belbridge House Hotel, you could have a great night there later on. 9.5 minutes gone, second half. Brought down the field, Clara come once again. It's Barry Egan being tracked there by Dara Townsend. He's a sticky customer to get away from. Gets the ball back to the ground, and the referee says there was a hand pull there. I failed to see it now. In fairness to our ref, he's a little bit closer to the action. Shane Corcoran from Mayo is his name, and he's given the free in to Clara, but it's St. Joseph's with that 4-point lead.
Yeah, look, it seemed a bit harsh again, but in fairness to the referee, he's doing quite a good job in difficult conditions, so both any of the two teams can't have a complaint with him. If he did pull his hand, it's a free, and just get on with it.
It's the full forward that's going to take it. Ben Kennedy goes short, but Dara Townsend anticipated and nips in to take that ball away. Shea Gleeson and Conor Kearney doing great work back there as well. Long ball up the field here towards Cathal Talty. Sells the dummy, jinks away from his man. Ewan Leneen trying to get into space. That's where the ball goes. Cathal Talty pulled back. Free in for St. Joseph's Spanish Point. Brilliant work to intercept that free down here just a couple of moments ago, working it up the field to Talty. That two-pronged approach of himself and Leneen, and they have a great understanding between them, but Leneen will have the free. We'll talk about it in just a second. He's no more than 21 metres out from the post, slightly to the left-hand side. This could be the biggest gap we've seen in this game so far. It's 10 points to 6. Cross the fingers and toes, and it'll be 11 once Ewan Leneen puts his right boot to this ball. It's curling and twisting inside the post. 11 points to 6. St. Joseph's lead. 11 gone, second half.
Oh, what an outstanding interception by Conor Kearney. He read it, he drove onto it, and in fairness to Conor, every game he's been on the chief scorer for them, and he's outstanding in the semi-final, and what a brilliant interception up along. But Cathal Talty going in the inside line has changed the whole game. It has brought Ocean Sexton into the game, and it has made an awful difference. And again, he was fouled for that score. That was excellently scored by Ewan Leneen.
Cian Coughlin is making way, is coming into the team. Finn O'Driscoll is the man that's making way. I mentioned his dad just a couple of minutes ago. He's away down here to our right hand side. Kevin Coughlin, of course, part of that mighty Coughlin family out around there. And someone told me during the week that Cian is very like the cousin Conor Cleary, but if he has half the football he'll be doing well, and he's straight into the action, holding on to that ball, flicking it out to the far side of the pitch to Evan Cahill. Back around it comes, not a bad substitution to be able to make. St. Joseph's now looking towards those finishers, but the ball turned over, and it's Ben Kennedy now working deep. The chief scorer has dropped back to work in a defensive role as well. 12 minutes gone, second half. There's 5 points between the sides, 11 points to 6. St. Joseph's, though, Michael, these last few minutes looking very, very comfortable.
They've been excellent second half, in fairness, Derek. They've been excellent. That was excellent again from Shea Gleeson. Got across, won the ball, cool head, popped the ball off, and we're on the attack, but Killian has just kicked it away.
Trying to just thread the ball through there to Ewan, but the cover was there for the Clara men. But again, they're carrying into contact, and the referee is there. He has spotted some class of an indiscretion. Sean Nealon isn't agreeing with him, but why would he? It's been given against him, and for whatever, the referee has brought it forward, and Clara played in, but right inside once again. Brilliant work there from Conor Carney, wearing those black sleeves inside. His hand is up to his head to just get the bit of wind back. He has his job done for the moment. Now it's up to Cahill Talty down to the top of the right position. The runner is coming off the shoulder. The runner is Cian Coughlin. Would he give it to him? Talty still goes through. Now he goes to the ground, out to the far side of the pitch it comes, holding on to it. Coughlin recycling it back to Talty. He's back up onto his feet once again. Josh Maloney hanging this one high in towards the post, but it's going to stay away out to the right hand side and wide. But once again, what an outball Cahill Talty is.
He's been outstanding, in fairness, Derek. He's been absolutely outstanding. Put him in again, has turned this game completely in Spanish Spine's favour, and every ball that's gone in he has won it. Every single of the 6 or 7 balls that have gone into him he has won it, and we were very unlucky not to get a score there again.
Kick out from the Clara men, once again no major direction on it, but they've managed to get a loose boot on it outside around there to drive it forward. But again, that's St. Joseph's defence standing firm, and the advantage is coming. Referee happy enough to let the play go. Good officiating by the Mayo man outside in the middle of the park, working it right through the hands, almost coming there to Paul Frawley, but just falling out of his hands at the crucial moment, and Clara turn it over once again. But they're getting no joy, Michael. Once it hits the Spanish Point 45, it's being turned over, brought to ground and broken pace.
Yeah, definitely no. Spanish Point are on top now at the back. Conor Carney has been excellent in the second half, sticking to his task, and Diarmuid Comer the same.
Little bit of work now to do as 3 Clara men go after this one, and working back there is Dara Townsend once again picking that ball up, and has the presence of mind to find Shea Gleeson coming in support and linking up with him brilliantly as well, storming right through the centre is Comer. Out it comes once again now here for the cornerback Carney, and Townsend looking to try and get back involved around the challenges once again, but it's Carney offering the support on the 65 metre line, slipping the hand pass through. Josh Maloney now looks to have picked up a more advanced attacking position. 2 Clara men around him. He pirouettes away from him, and he still goes. He's onto the 21 metre line, spins it inside. Chance here for a shot at the post. Cahill Talty has it, and it's gone over the bar. Well, the Clara men are gone off the head below. I have to say, Michael, if that point was given against Spanish Point, I think we'd be questioning it as well. But the umpire's looking, I thought it was very obviously out to the right and wide. A lot of people down here agree with us as well. We don't have VAR, we don't have Hawkeye, but we might have intervention.
The referee's gone in now, but in fairness, again, a great move. Look, it was tight. They have a better view than us. Now, we're right in line with it. It did look wide. It did look wide. Look at, but are they going to change their mind now? I think the linesman here is signalling to the ref as well. So, this could be taken away.
Let's see. No. If it is, he'll have to go and cross the flags.
No.
And
the point
giving
it,
given.
Point stands.
The linesman is telling the Clara lads here to settle down a small bit, and so the point stands. We can tell you that much. 12 points to 6. It was Cahill Talty's. It was his 4th of the afternoon. It was fortunate, shall we say, but you know what?
The linesman has the flag up again now, Derek. He's calling him over.
I think it's a sub, though. I think it's a sub that he's indicating that's after coming in here and down here for Clara number 18. No. Brian Hogan has made his way on.
Yeah, point stands.
And James Dunn is also coming on for Clara. And Brendan Lowry has gone off the head down there, but it'll make no difference. He's after pelting the cap up here into the front row of the stand, I think. But again, the flag is staying up. The substitutions are made. It's all very confusing, I must say. The flag is still there. He's waiting for someone to come off. So let's not have a Kilmacud Glynn situation here, at least. We will have 15 versus 15 on the field at all times. 16 minutes gone, second half. It's St. Joseph's Spanish Point now leading by double scores, 12 points to 6.
12 points to 6, and they're full merit for Derek. Clara can go off the hit. Okay, it could have been wide, but that doesn't take away from Spanish Point. They've totally dominated the second half, and they've been excellent in tough conditions. They've been absolutely excellent in the second half, and Clara can do all the shouting and all the liking the sideline, but that's the true factor that's so far.
They're trying to respond straight away. Barry Egan going right to the centre, but a brilliant block put in there by Evan Cahill. It's going to be a 45. Shouts for a leg block. No hope of it whatsoever. He came right across to throw his body in front of it. If you take it on a second half scoring, it was 5 points apiece at half time, 12-6 now. Quick maths will say 7-1. That tells it all.
No, in fairness, no, you're 100% correct, and we're here watching it from the gantry, and we can see it. Spanish Point have totally dominated the second half, and there can be no qualms from Clara, to be fair. So it was going back to that last one. It was great tracking back by Evan Cahill, and an excellent block to put out for 45.
It goes to 45. It has to be defended inside, and it is. There was surely a pull back of the jersey there. The referee happy enough to let the play go. Carney coming away without the near side of the pitch, holding on to the ball. The man wearing 4, Sean Nealon's outside him. That's where it goes, and it's now coming up along this near side of the pitch. Shea Gleeson, good bit of pace about this fella as he breaks out from the back. Ewan Lenine is inside him, decides to go long instead to Talty, and now Lenine is there on the overlap in towards the top of the tee. Just couldn't wrap the boot around that one though. It's gone as high as it is long, but it's still there to be won inside, and it's good work. Keane Coughlin coming onto that ball. Can he get the space to get the shot away? Keane Coughlin striking goalwards. That is an outstanding score from the young man wearing the number 21 jersey. It was more than a Gary Owen. It was a Gary Owen and Dura Doyle, whatever way you want to call it, but he kept his eye on it, Michael, into the bread basket and struck it between the posts.
Great score. He did very well because his angle was very acute. But what a break by Spanish Point. What a run by Shea Gleeson right up here in front of the stand. Got the ball in, Talty laid it off to Ewan Lenine. Ewan's shot went up, but in fairness to Keane, he competed for the ball. He won it on the second time and kicked a great score.
Outstanding score, 13 points to 6, St. Joseph's by 7. Remember, Clara got the first 3 points inside the first 5 minutes. They've only got 6 now with 18 minutes gone in the second half. Belbridge House Hotel, our commentary sponsors. Ben Kennedy has the ball. As we said, working very, very deep now at the moment. There's a 7-point differential to make up. There's 12 minutes to see out. Referee is giving yet another free, and he's going to have a little chat as well. He's telling Shea Gleeson, I think, come back here.
Sean Nealon, I think.
He's telling him, on a come back here and stand in front of me while I'm talking to you.
Sean, he pulled the jersey and he stopped the attack, so he's going to get a yellow card, I would think. No, just a ticking, all the better.
Yeah. There was almost the school principal way in which he approached that one, but thankfully for Sean Nealon, no part of we on that one as we watch again another free in for the Clara men, and tensions just rising now a little bit, and anybody from a St. Joseph's point of view would be as well pleased just to walk away from it. And surely now at this stage for what went on there, you could potentially see a ball thrown in because it was class and needless.
Yeah, it should be thrown in, Derek. He just pulled Conor Carney to the ground for no reason. He started pushing him, then he pulled him to the ground, which he's probably going to book the tune, but it should be a hot ball, in fairness.
The rain is coming down. We can see that out here in front of us. It's coming through a shot of the stand here as well, but thankfully we have a good old roof over our head, and the referee is talking to Barry Egan down here. So if he's going to book the Clara man, well then surely the free will become a hot ball, and we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to do that.
So he's going to book both of them, Derek.
Yeah, but if you're booking one, you have to turn over the free, because obviously you're doing it for something. So maybe one cancels out the other and the free will stand. Let's just wait and see. 2 yellow cards flashed there. We'll watch Shane Corcoran's decision. So obviously one cancels out the other and the free continues on as normal.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, and it's been brought in now as well. That wasn't where the foul occurred out here, so look at it is, but in fairness to the ref, he hasn't done bad, so in fairness he has done fairly well, so look at it is what it is. So
he's going for the goal, and it's a great block inside. He has it back again. It's that man Ben Kennedy. He's back to the ground. A little bit of helter-skelter inside around the area and coming away with it. Who else? Only Josh Maloney breaking out here towards the sideline, setting his feet, making the run inside, giving it back here to Townsend once again, bringing the ball clear. Maloney goes and takes the hit and takes the ball back once again out here to Conor Carney. Great composed play, I must say, and Carney is ushering them and telling them to get forward. He has it now once again. The two cornerbacks link up and back, working very, very hard indeed there too was Paul Frawley, trying to get the ball away up here towards Ewan Lenine. Continuing the run is Gary Dunn, and ball ripped away from him though. Back to the ground it comes. Referee spotted. He's given the free to St. Joseph's Spanish Point. They're getting very, very exercised around here, I must say. But that's brilliant play from Spanish Point. So composed, Michael. Once they turned it over, worked it up here, and the free given.
Yeah, look, but the referee has been consistent. I know Clara are giving out their own, but he's been consistent. When Gary Donlan lost the ball, he went for it again. Your man kind of tugged him back. So the referee has been consistent. So that's just the way it is. So Clara's starting to lose their discipline a small bit now, but Spanish Point don't need to get involved in that. They're now 9 minutes away from being All-Ireland champions. They're 7 points up. There's no need to get involved in anything. Keep playing the ball.
There was Munster Championships won in the 90s and the 80s. Could there be an All-Ireland title won in 2023? We'll tell you the answer to that question in just about 8.5 minutes. Josh Maloney with the free, about 40 yards out from the post, slightly to the left-hand side. Gets a good contact on this one. It's going to drop short though, inside around, and up goes the hands, and Clara turn it over. The full-back brought to the ground. It'll be a free out for them once again. 13 points to 6, very, very merited. And you'd have to say, Michael, even from this point onwards, I know we've 8 minutes or whatever to go, but you'd be confident.
In fairness, Spanish Point have totally dominated the second half here today. In fairness, all the kickouts around the middle of the field, they've been excellent. They've moved the ball way quicker in the second half. They've looked way more dangerous. But in fairness, Clara can't have any qualms. Spanish Point have been way the better team in the second half.
And Cian Coughlin has certainly made his impact. He has a point on the board, and he has a carte de buis to his name as well. Free taken short. The fullback is under all kind of pressure there from Ewan Leneen. Too much so, says the referee. So a chance for them to clear their lines. They need the green flags to come. The brought up if they're going to bring this one back to Clara, but at the minute that St. Joseph's defence, as the rain starts to pour here in Tuam, is standing firm and is turned over, but Clara going back to the ground once again on the 21 metre line. Around it comes to Kennedy, trying to get that right foot clear, goes into contact, ball goes back to the ground. Good tracking there from Gary Donlan just to shepherd him out towards that far sideline. There's a few hardy souls over on the terracing stands, but they have the brollies open to try and keep the rain away. The floodgates open going this second half for Spanish Point. It's Conor Doyle with the ball for Clara. Can he cut the deficit? Thought about it. Flicked the hand pass inside, but outstanding work inside there once again. Brilliant work from the St. Joseph's Spanish Point defence, and a good old rap in the chest as well to say get away from me for good measure. Brilliant stuff.
Diarmuid Comer went into the clouds of the ball. It was a poor hand pass up in the air. Diarmuid attacked it, grabbed the ball out of the air, broke out, was fouled. Excellent. 1 point Clara scored in the second half there, Derek. So that tells the story.
And 3 since the 6th minute.
That's what I'm saying. So that tells its own story for anyone that's listening in. Spanish Point have been totally dominant and totally merited in their lead at the moment.
Just looking down at the management team underneath us, they're not celebrating just yet. Sean O'Brien, Paul Reedy and Paul Dillon, what a moment it would be for them, but there's a few minutes to see out just yet. 6 plus the additional time to go in this particular tie here in Tuam. It might be a wet road home, but it'll be a short one when they're celebrating. As we said, we'll go into Hennessy Park in Milltown then tonight for the number 20 game, Clare versus Limerick in the Liam O'Connor Cup. Cathal Talty, he'll have plenty of years in a jersey for both club and county. I've no doubt in my mind about that one. The ball goes out over the far side. It'll be a line ball for Clara, and the referee happy enough to let the play go. Belbridge House Hotel, our sponsors. We thank Derek and all the crew there for their support for this particular broadcast. Clara in between the two 65 metre lines. Brought to ground there was Aaron Kelly. It's going to be a free in for them, but all this will suit Spanish Point. Michael, just keep that clock ticking.
Keep the clock ticking. Spanish Point, if everyone back now. Cathal Talty is the only one inside the 45, so it's Spanish Point now. If just keep the heads, keep the zone in front of the goals, pack with players. Foul him out there, that's nothing wrong with that. But in fairness, Derek, Conor Doyle has really tried his heart out for Clara. We have to give him a mention. He has tried his heart out. He has stayed going from the first minute, and he's definitely their outstanding player. In fairness, in tough conditions, he's been fouled there again. But Spanish Point, no panic now. They're on the home run. There's 5 minutes left. Just be composed and do not concede a goal, and it's game over.
Yellow card there for Josh Maloney. He won't mind that. He'll put it into the draw at home as we watch the free being taken there by Ben Kennedy. He has split the post. It cuts it back to a 6-point game. It's their first score in quite some time, and indeed it's nearly all from frees, so they haven't too many from play to report either. St. Joseph's 13, 7 points for Clara. The clock will tell us we're inside the final 5 minutes, and we'll set up here in front of us the goalkeeper Tomas Sexton, just looking to see what are his options. There's tired bodies inside around there, but why not? They've put in some effort. They won't mind that one little bit long kick out breaking down. Maloney just turned his back. He knew where the ball was going to be when he looked at it, and he has it. A lovely little dummy. The conditions now really starting to tell. A little bit scrubby, as the ball is still going to Hando and striding down the far side of the pitch. In they come here to Paul Frawley. Can he get his shot away? Slips it inside. Ewan Leneen bearing down on goal, strikes across. Oh, and it just goes out to the left and wide. Credit the Clara defence there, and in particular Tommy Bracken. Out he came, Michael, to cut down the angle, spread himself, put out the leg, just went across and missed that left hand upright. But Ewan Leneen, when he gets in at that angle, he just knows the right run to make.
He's a great bit of stuff, but again we go back to the start of the move. The man with the heart of a line, Josh Maloney. He broke out, gave the ball to Paul Frawley. It came in along to Ewan Leneen, but in fairness was great defending. I thought it was going to just slip into net, but it didn't. It went down for a 45. So in fairness, but Spanish Point have looked more dangerous. We've no green flag today, but they have looked more dangerous to getting one, so that tells its own story.
13 scores on the board so far. Let's see if Evan Cahill can add to that. It's hanging high, and that's a brilliant score from Evan Cahill. We saw one long range free from Josh Maloney. Evan was the man that took this one. Maybe the legs were just a little bit tired from Josh after that break, but what a substitution to be able to make in terms of your free taking. Evan Cahill with a brilliant score, double scores once again. 14 points to 7. Coming on is Cormac Byrne, and coming off, I think it's Killian Keevy. So St. Joseph's Milltown for St. Joseph's Milltown to let him on the field to see this out. It looks like now it is done and dusted, really. 3 minutes plus additional time to go.
Yeah, that was a great 45 from Evan Cahill, in fairness to him. And if we go back to the Clare Schools final against Innistymen, against the wind, he kicked the monster to win it on that day as well. So they have a great array of free takers between Ewan and Cahill and Josh Maloney from the ground and Evan Cahill. So that's a great score to get.
Warm round of applause for Killian Keevy as he comes off. He's ran himself into the ground this afternoon. Great effort from the young man from Milltown. He has certainly played his part. 14 scores, plays 7. That tells you all you need to know about this particular game. Shea Gleeson goes in and puts in a big hit there, and in fairness was accidental enough, I have to say. He went in between two Clara men. It's the Clara man has come out on the worst end of it, but it's Shea that's been spoken to. I don't know about that now.
I think the ref is wrong there. No fairness, he won the ball. That's a harsh yellow card to me now. To me, he went in and he won the ball. Okay, he caught the Clara man as well, but he did win the ball. So again, he's going to get a yellow card, it looks like to me. Yeah,
that's exactly what's happening. So thankfully it's only his first one, because we've had a few of those now in these last couple of minutes. Update from the Premier League: a missed penalty for Mo Salah. 6 minutes to go. Bournemouth still leading Liverpool by 1-0. Free here for the Claremen. Looking at the clock, 2 plus additional time to go. We're getting ever closer to that full-time whistle as Clara win a free again around the 65-metre line. The call is to keep working. That's exactly what they have to do. Centre back there, Darren McKeown for Clara working up. He's been fouled. It'll be a free in. It'll be the kitchen sink from here on in, but they have a 7-point deficit to make up. It's 14-7, 28 and a half on the clock as we watch the full forward there, Kennedy, just telling everybody to head in towards that little bit of AstroTurf. The cup is passing us out here in the commentary position. Please God, Sean Nealon and Josh Maloney will be picking it up very, very shortly. Picking that ball up inside at the minute is Maloney, and somehow gets the hand pass away through the legs and out the field to Evan Cahill. The run comes off the shoulder. That just sums up, Michael, A, the heart, but B, the intelligence that they're playing with.
No, in fairness, Josh Maloney has been absolutely outstanding today for Spanish Point. He's played a captain's part. He's been outstanding. He went into the clouds with that ball, and there was 3 or 4 of them around him. He still got his pass away, in fairness to him.
Yeah, Michael no doubt will have enjoyed that one, and Josh will be telling him about it later on. Please God, taking pictures with that cup as well. Long ball across here to this near side of the pitch to Shea Gleeson, soloing forward up towards the 21-metre line. Out it comes to Sean Nealon. Can the joint captain cap it with a point? Can he what? That is a gorgeous score as he jumps a jig inside. It's his second point of the afternoon. One off the left, one off the right. A joint captain's role played.
It's a great score, in fairness to Sean. He has 2 brilliant scores kicked. One with his left, one with his right. Came in, that was about 30 metres out. Curled it over the bar beautifully. It's just all falling for Spanish Point. 15 points on the day that's in a Derrick, and they could have a lot more got. They had a lot of wides in the first half. It's an exceptional performance.
It is, and it's an exceptional, particularly in the conditions, to kick 15 scores without the goal. 15 points individually is brilliant, and a great spread as well. Like Josh, Evan, Sean Nealon, Oisin Sexton, Ewan Leneen, Cahill Talty, they've all got on the board, and Keane Coughlin off the bench. So it's brilliant.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent.
5 minutes of additional time to go. They're making us sweat here in Tuam, even in the rain, but once again taking it clear inside is Comer. Coming away, a referee though has spotted something. I think there was a foul outside here, maybe perhaps on the full forward. The advantage accrued, and you give the free in the more advantageous position, which is inside on the 21 metre line. He's looking to go quick with it, and he's put it away to the left and wide, but the ref will bring him back and take the free once again. Conor Doyle just having a very, very quick look at the bottom left hand corner there. The ref will bring it back. Spanish Point will pack the goal, but I'd say he's going to have to crack anyway. He has to.
He has to have a go now. Sure, they're 8 points down, so he has no other choice.
It's Ben Kennedy that will take it. He's on the 21 metre line. There is a packed goal out in front of him, and somehow he almost dipped it in under the crossbar, but Spanish Point pick it up. A big hit going in there on one of the defenders. Just can't quite pick out the number at the minute, but in fairness to Kennedy, you must say, we spoke about Conor Doyle for Clara, Mike, but in fairness to Kennedy, he has been huge for them this afternoon as well, and a very, very deceiving kind of a kick there that almost dipped under the crossbar, but thankfully they were able to keep it out.
Yeah, in fairness, Tomas Sexton did well, and I think the players on the ground looking for me here, I think it's Sean Nealon. He picked up the break from Tomas and broke out. It looks like it is Sean Nealon, the physio's just gone into him there, so yeah, did well again. It was what was expected of Clara. They had to go for goal, but in fairness, Spanish Point have dealt with everything that's gone in there.
Another substitution here as Paul Frawley makes way. He has run himself to a standstill as well, and it's Owen Devaney is the man that's coming on. So once again, Milltown for Milltown, as we look at the clock that tells us 31-42, and a scoreboard that tells us 15 points to 7. An 8-point win in an All-Ireland final is on the cards here for St. Joseph's and Spanish Point. I know their former teacher packed UCH last night, Mr. Marty, the Marty party down there. He was over them, we're told, back in the late 80s when they won a Munster title, and I know he wanted to send them all the very best as well. So he's heading for Galway, I think, shortly as well. Maybe he'll bring the cup with him, Michael, up to the Terryland.
He might do that, in fairness to him. Yeah, Marty, he's a former teacher in the school, and has always come back to the school anytime he's around, in fairness to him.
A little bit more defending to do, and it's done inside once again by Sean Nealon. Tomas Sexton comes out to thank him for that one. He just stuck out the leg, deflected it out for the 45. 32 and a half played. 5 of the additional minutes is what the umpire down here, or the linesman down here, told us. 15 points to 7. It's all now just about seeing it out.
That's all. Look, time is up. In fairness, to be great for Spanish Point not to concede a goal now, to finish out strong, and they're well merited in their 8 points at the moment.
The goalkeeper coming up to try and help things out, but the fullback won't be helping things out with that kind of a ball. Christian McCone, it's dropping in around the 21 metre line. Out it goes. The umpire's walking out. He's going to put up the hand. Maybe he was just cold standing at the butt of the post and wants to try and warm himself up a small bit. It will be a 45 once again. 15 points to 7. 3 minutes of the injury time played, and they're starting to line up here underneath us. More substitutions for St. Joseph's. 19 and 23. That's Aidan Considine and Colin Ryan from Dunbeg. They're about to make their entrance, but they'll have to wait for the break in play. It's still inside around the square. Could there be a late twist in the tail? There's a penalty. It was Conor Doyle, if I'm not mistaken, down there again, Mike. He's been the man that has really shown great heart. It'll be a penalty for them. It'll be nothing more than cosmetic, you'd imagine, at this stage, but in fairness to him, he probably deserves it for the way he's kept going.
Yeah, in fairness to him now, and it was a penalty, there's no arguing about it. It was a penalty, but in fairness to him, we spoke about him earlier. He has been definitely their best player. I know Ben Kennedy has done well at full forward, but to be fair, Conor Doyle has been their best player.
Ben Kennedy to take the penalty. Tomas Sexton is dancing on the goal line. It's gone in. It's a very cool finish, in fairness to young Kennedy. Tomas went one way, the ball went the other to the bottom left hand corner, could do very little with it. It's 1-7 now for Clara, 15 points for St. Joseph's, and it looks like Shea Gleeson is going to be making way there in one of those changes. Colin Ryan coming on, and he's congratulating him as he goes off, because I think he knows what's coming, and it's back to a 5 points. Probably flatters Clara a little bit in the final scoreboard, but they won't mind if there was only 1 or 2 in the finish. It's all about just keeping your nose in front. Kick out for Tomas Sexton, and Paul Reedy down there just directing operations, hoping to see that there'll be another man sent on. Let's see, Sean O'Brien is trying to catch his attention down there too, and Mr. Lowry's coming down, keeping a fair eye on them, I must say. Long kick out from Tomas Sexton, it's broken around, and again Maloney's inside underneath it, trying to break the challenge, looks up and goes long towards Talty. Referee's calling it back. He spotted a little pull back on the jersey, and they'll take their sweet time with this one.
Yeah, for sure. In fairness, Josh again has been outstanding today for Spanish Point. There's a small bit of handbags, but look at, in fairness, he pulled the free. Cathal Talty had the ball won, but look at it, just slows things up, eats a few more seconds, and we should be very close to the final whistle now.
St. Joseph's still trying to make that final substitution underneath us here. It's Aidan Considine from the Clare Club, And outside of the field again, the referee has just stopped play. It's just getting a little bit scrappy here in these last couple of moments, and we'll keep an eye on some of these substitutions coming off as well. And I think it's Conor Taylor that's coming off for the Clara men, and we'll just see at the minute Josh Maloney trotting out here into space. Coming on for them will be their number 22, Kevin Gavin, not sure he's seen much action. Scoreline still says St. Joseph's 15 points, Clara 1 goal and 7. Barry Egan coming off for Clara, he has tried hard as well, in fairness to him. And coming off is Garrett Townsend. He'll get a massive round of applause, I'd imagine, as he comes off. What an effort he's put in, and he's replaced by his clubmate as well, Aidan Considine. So it looks as if that there's hopefully all Ireland medals going back to Kilmurray, Milltown, Curraclare, Dunbang, and indeed Western Gales represented on this particular panel as well. Their sub-keeper Damien McInerney. Just this time of the game, Michael, when things start to break down, we've played 6 minutes of the additional time. We'll probably play another 2 or 3 for all these subs.
I think so. I think so. I don't. Maybe another minute or 2. Maybe. Yeah, you could be right. But if Clara were saying that Spanish Point, Garrett Townsend hadn't gone off, but he's coming around the back of the goals. We can see from here he's gone off the pitch.
He certainly is, and can be that on camera as well, just in case it's needed by the CCCC. Cathal Talty has the size 5. It's on the 45-metre line. He's got a support runner coming right through the centre. That is Conor Carney. Gives it back to him once again, just holding on to it, killing the clock. Josh Maloney's here in space on his left-hand side. There goes the full-time whistle. Paul Reedy and Sean O'Brien embrace on the sideline. What an effort they put in. Brilliant scenes here in Tuam. They're streaming onto the pitch. Lovely to see it. West Clare football alive and well. It's St. Joseph's Spanish Point, crowned All-Ireland champions, deservedly so. 5 points apiece at half-time, but at the full-time whistle, 15 points to 1 goal and 7. They're deserving of every bit of it, Michael, and a little bit more. What an achievement.
Fully merited as well, Derek. If you take the first 6 or 7 minutes out of this game, Spanish Point were excellent and fully merited for the win. The penalty put a bit of respectability in the scoreboard, but to be fair about a Spanish Point, were 7, 8, 9 points the better team, in fairness. On the day, there can be no qualms about it. They were definitely the better side, and the second half they really played some excellent football, and it's a great day for football in West Clare to have clubs represented, have All Ireland medals coming back to the various clubs. It's really proud, and it's really proud moment for me, Derek. There's an awful lot of these. There's 14 Kilmurray lads on it. I'm chairman of the club, and I'd say of the 14 they've been at the pitch and quilting at least about 4 years of age, so it's really special moment, and I want to wish them the biggest congratulations, and all in Kilmurray, Brick and GA are really proud of them.
And I'd say particularly so, Michael, when we look at number 30 on the panel there, a man that's gone through a lot with injuries in recent times, your own fella Aaron, he didn't steal it. He's been at the pitch even before he was 4 and 5 running laps while you were training teams, so that's particularly special as well.
It is, yeah, in fairness to him, he's gone through a tough time. He had a knee operation. He's getting back slowly but surely, but it takes time. But yeah, look, it's brilliant. There's an All-Ireland medal coming into the house. It's a really proud moment, so I'm absolutely delighted for the lads, delighted for the school, the management. They have an awful effort put in, and you get out of it what you put in, Derek. It's as simple as that. It's disappointing for Clara, but there was, from the 7th or 8th minute on, there was really no doubt, and especially from half time on, I think the switch of putting Cathal Talty into the full forward line, it brought Oisin Sexton into the game. He kicked two beautiful scores, but I think putting Cathal in, it gave the lads inside that bit of belief as well. It got Ewan going as well. They sparked off each other. So fully merited for Spanish Point, and absolutely delighted.
As we said in commentary, like 3 points in the first couple of minutes from Clara, 5 all at half time. Like St. Joseph's, just once they settled into the game, took over.
Oh, they did. Once they settled, that first few minutes, that was great for Clara. They started, but it showed great character for Spanish Point coming back, in fairness to them. And after that 7 or 8 minutes, as I said, they plugged away. At half time they were level. They had a few poorish enough wides in the first half, but they came back into it, and in the second half absolutely dominated the game from the 30 minutes till he blew the final whistle. So it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
It's times they'll remember. Like, it's only when I was talking to Paul Reedy in the lead up to this that he was mentioning about the previous Munster victories. Like, they're few and far between. They're going back to 95 and back to the 80s before that, so it doesn't come around too often. It's all about, and I suppose it's in life as well, when you get those opportunities you take them, and in fairness to that group of young lads out there, they've done it. Like,
oh, they have, in fairness. As you said, they don't come around too often. Munster football titles don't come to Clare too often, and that's just the way it is, because you're competing with the creme de la creme, and Cork and Kerry and Tip have improved, and you'll always have good Limerick Colleges teams. So look at they came out of Munster. They actually went through Munster quite untroubled, to be fair. Even the Munster final, they were well ahead. They got a brilliant test the last day, and I think the big thing was in between the Munster final and the county and the All-Ireland semi-final. They played the county schools final against Ennis Diamond, and that was a great test. That went to the wire. Last minute free by Evan Cahill to win it, and that built character. It also gave them the tough game, and it allowed the management to see, okay, these guys will respond, and they needed to respond out at the GA Centre of Excellence, the Connacht Centre of Excellence last in the semi-final. They came through it, and they're worthy All-Ireland champions there.
They certainly are, and I suppose in that same breath it would be apt to congratulate St Michael's Community College in Clonmel. They won the Munster title at the grade below this, which is a brilliant achievement for them. Again, working off a similar, from the club point of view, a similar kind of a profile in terms of what they have to deal with. We know rural depopulation and all that, so it's great to see that. Full-time score here in Tuam, it is the men from St Joseph's Spanish Point crowned All-Ireland champions. My thanks to Michael Constantine here on analysis, and indeed to Tom O'Connor here alongside us as well, keeping us going on the stats. It'll make the birthday party for Andrew a little bit sweeter later on, because there's those All-Ireland medals coming back into the school. Thanks as well to Brian McLaughlin and the crew back at base, and to Derek Logan and all the crowd at the Belbridge House Hotel as well for their support of this broadcast. Victory for St Joseph's Spanish Point. Josh Maloney and Sean Nealon are coming over very shortly indeed to collect the cup. What a brilliant moment for them as we sign off. Outstanding work inside there once again.
And do not concede a goal, and it's game over.
Yellow card there for Josh Maloney. He won't mind that. He'll put it into the draw at home as we watch the free being taken there by Ben Kennedy. He has split and gone striding down the far side of the pitch. In they come here to Paul Frawley. Can he get his shot away? Slips it inside. Ewan Lanine bearing down on goal. Strikes across. Oh, and it just goes out.
Yeah, but they have looked more dangerous to getting one, so that tells its own story.
13 scores on the board so far. Let's see if Evan Cahill can add to that. It's hanging high, and that's a brilliant. 13 scores, plays 7. That tells you all you need to know about this particular game. Shea Gleeson goes in and puts in a big hit there, and in fairness was accidental enough, I have to say. He went in between two Clara. Here to this near side of the pitch to Shea Gleeson, soloing forward up towards the 21 metre line. Out it comes to Sean Nealon. Can the joint captain cap it with a point? Can he what? That is a good
points down, so he has no other choice.
It's Ben Kennedy that will take it. He's on the 21 metre line. There is a packed goal out in front of him, and somehow he almost dipped it in under the crossbar, but Spanish Point pick it up. A big
Stimian, our team, he's a former teacher in the school, and has always come back to the school anytime he's around, in fairness to him.
A little bit more defending to do, and it's done inside once. That's Aidan Considine and Colin Ryan from Dunbeg. They're about to make their entrance, but they'll have to wait for the break in play. It's still inside around the square. Could there be a late twist in the tail? There's a penalty.
Ben Kennedy has done well at full forward, but to be fair, Conor Doyle has been their best player.
Ben Kennedy to take the penalty. Tomas Sexton is dancing on the goal line. It's gone in. It's a very cool finish, in fairness to young.
Right.
Oh, here come the two lads, the two captains. Congratulations.
Okay, lads, I can only hand it to one of you. which he's going to take it, and then the other fella can take it, and he can.
I said Irish first, is it? And then
You go first.
Yeah, well, once I hand it over to the first fella, the two you take it up and just hold it up, and then
No, but
I'll give the. Who's going to speak first?
I first. And then
Sounds right.
No, I'm doing Brain Fancy, doing Ray Cup, and the other time.
Yeah. No, I'm doing medical stuff.
We're ready to go.
If I can't do it today, I'm going to do it
We go. You're right, lads. Well done. You made heavy weather at the start, but you were by far the better team. Well done. Okay. It's more known nor done. Bhean showing you, our son, Corley Irvine, Scullen here, and August Fulcher, got in on show a park near Virla. Before I continue and make the presentation, there's just a few notes I would like to people to note of. Number one, the role of our sponsors, Mesita Sportswear. Galway County Board and their team committee here for their stewarding, cooperation, and above all the presentation of the grounds on a day like today when the weather has been very poor for pitches as due to the weather in the last couple of days. I would also like to note the contribution made by the coaches and staffs of both schools. Without their efforts, their students wouldn't have the opportunity to play our games and for the self-development that they'd achieve from doing so. I would also, the referee, Shane Corcoran, and his team of officials for the efficient manner in which they controlled the game. Everybody will agree on a poor day for football, we witnessed a magnificent and sporting game. To Clara, it may be little consolation, but you made an equal contribution to this magnificent game that we were here to witness today. But congratulations must be given to Spanish Point for your achievements and the manner in which you overcame your poor start and completed the game. So congratulations to Spanish Point, and now I would like to take this opportunity to present the cup to the joint captains Josh Maloney and Sean Nyland. Who's going to take it?
We got it.
I'll just give it to Winnie. All right, and the other, and there you are. Off you go. Right, just push that up.
Push it up.
Yeah.
Naofa and Cornshaw, Glocka, Osborne, Neil Joseph, we're in the squad.
Yeah, just delighted to be receiving this cup here today. Get after the two of us, like, means an awful lot to see how it means to the players and to the partners. Like, I think there's 9 or 10 leaving starting in the team and 20 more in the panel, so it's just unbelievable for this to be our last game for our school. It's just, we're over the moon with it. And I just love to thank the management, Paul Reedy, Chiaráin, and Paul Dillon with us. Like, they've just been absolutely brilliant for us all year. We've done Trojan work for us, organising challenges. They just couldn't have done enough for us, like, so they really helped us out this year, and we owe this to them. I'd also like to thank any supporters, anyone who came to watch us here today. I know it was a bad day to watch football, but like, when the game was tight there at half time, coming out there with the support from the fans, it really drove us on and it really drove the game home for us. So just thanks to anyone who came. We're delighted. Thanks to you.
Say a word about Clara. Just give them that.
I'd like to thank Jude Stadium. The pitch was unreal there, like, and with the weather the last couple of days to play the game. I know the league final was moved up to the dome, like, so just to be able to play here was unreal. So thanks very much, Jude. I'd also like to thank again to the ref Shane Corcoran. Like you see out there, it's pouring rain, it's hard conditions, and they did a superb job. The umpires, linesmen, the refs, sport officials. So thanks very much, lads. Lastly, to Clara, lads, you're unbelievable. Like, you should be so proud of yourselves. Just one club together and what you've achieved in Leinster, and to get to reach the All-Ireland final and really put it up to us. So, well done, Clara. 3 chips, 3 cheers. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
Thanks, lads. You want to stand fend there? Lads, just one more photograph with this man here.
Oh yeah.
Get in there.
For me time there.
For your time.
You want in?
No. This is a special one for the wall in Spanish Point.
Thank you. In my time I went to school there.
Oh, that's very special.
I see. All right, perfect.